Hi guys, for today's vlog I will be starting some onion seed. That'll come in a little bit, and I'll show you that process when I get there, and I'll update you on how all the seedlings are doing in here. I started off the video today showing you my view of the mountains with the snow on it. It looks so pretty. And also just what my morning routine is. I come out, the first thing I do is I go to check on my burbs. I call them burbs. I always collect eggs as I go. This egg came from Sasha. She's my Australorp. But I always check on my birds first, tell them good morning, see what's going on. I usually check on them 2 or 3 times in the day. I have 4 hens that lay and 1 rooster. My hens lay at different times of the day, and my rooster, who is a bit of a troubled child, tends to break my eggs. Not necessarily to eat them, he's just a jerk. So I always go out there in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening to see if there are any eggs from any of the hens, because they do not lay at the same time. I don't want to leave them out there because I don't want my rooster to break them. I'm still only averaging anywhere from 2 to 3 eggs a day because we're still in our winter months here. We have a very extended winter up here in the mountains. While the daylight is starting to get longer and longer, my hens are starting to produce. But it'll still be another month or so before I'm getting 4 eggs a day on a regular basis. One of the things I do for my hens and my rooster, even though he's a jerk, during the winter months to give them a little extra fat, a little extra protein, some stimulation while they're in there, is I use these suet blocks, and I usually put 1 out a week, and it just gives them a little extra treat. I use the little suet rack that you have for just regular like bird feeders or whatever. In my neck of the woods, Ace Hardware is the cheapest place to get these without having to worry about is it on sale or anything. They're usually about $1.20, $1.50 at Ace Hardware. And these usually last my hens around 4 to 6 days, depending on, you know, how voracious they are at it. And you saw me throwing some of their treats out. It's a mix that I have of scratch, which is just a variety of seeds, and I always add in a bag of mealworms to give them a little extra protein. And then my chickens benefit from scraps from my kitchen. I don't compost because it's just me and my husband. I give my birds any chicken scraps that I have to give them some added stuff too. And I do that year round. Today you'll see I have my soil here ready to be moistened. I'm going to be planting my seeds in this tray here. Now, I did some research and I was looking, and in my neck of the woods, where I live currently, the county extension has a book called Seeds to Supper. And in there it says that onions don't really do well here, like bulb onions, like big onions. I know plenty of people in our garden club that have grown onions successfully. I've never tried to grow an onion that you could then slice up or cut or anything. I've grown little green onions before, but that's it. So I'm going to try these. I got 2 different kinds. I got the Gran X Yellow PRR Hybrid, and it says that it can be grown in a container, and it also says 80 days to harvest, and this looks like a white onion. It says it's one of the sweetest onions, large, thick, flat bulb, with white, mild flesh. Stays firm, crisp, and sweet when stir-fried or used in salads. Now it says to start the seeds 6 to 8 weeks before the last frost. Our last frost where I am located for my elevation is like May 9th this year. So I'm going to be sowing these well before then, but I have a greenhouse, and this is me learning how to use my greenhouse. So I'm going to try to get an early start on things. This right here says it is the red burgundy onion, and it's 100 days to harvest. It says to start indoors 8 to 10 weeks before your last frost date. No, 8 to 10 weeks before transplanting outdoors. And when transplanting outdoors, you clip the greens to about 3 inches. And so, or you could sow it directly in the garden when the ground can be worked. According to all of these, if you look on the backs of the seed packs, you see the little gardening zone things. According to all the gardening zone maps, if you look at those, I would be considered a 7A, 7B. Because my elevation is so high, we are at 6,500 feet above sea level. That knocks me down a lot to where I'm more closely to a 5B, 6A or B, just depending on what the crops are. So I take that into account, but most of my growing in this vlog is for me to learn how to grow in the greenhouse. So I'm just experimenting here. So I'm going to cut this off. I'm going to get everything set up. I'll move the camera around so I can film myself sowing the seeds, and I'll get back to you in just a minute. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that my soil is moistened. This is my mix of mushroom compost and then just potting soil. I don't usually wear gloves because I don't like the way my hands feel in gloves. I don't feel like it gives me very much control over what I'm doing. So I'm going to just mix this up, get it nice and moist. Oops, try not to sling it all over the place. And then once I get this mixed up, I'm going to fill in my seed cups. And then I'll bring you right back to starting my seeds. Okay, so I have all of my soil in my containers. I have labeled my 2 different types of onions. I'm going to put one over here. This half will be the yellow onions. This half will be the red onions. I put a date on there so I could see how long it takes. It says days to germinate, 10 to 12. And then it also says that the depth that you should sow your seeds is 1/2 inch. So what I did was I just put a little mark on here, and I'm going to go ahead, poke myself a hole in the middle here. Ooh, I feel something that's really clumpy and big, so let me break that up some. There we go. Get my little holes in here. And that one's for the red onions, so I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to open those up. Let's see how big these seeds are. Never done this before, so. Oh, they're not that big. This is how big those seeds are. I'm going to plop one in each hole. Just like this. Some of them might end up with 2 in it, that's fine. Just like that. I'm going to carefully cover them up. And these will be placed in the same tray that my science experiments are in. That's on a heating pad. They'll be watered at the same consistency as all of that. And we will see what happens. I'm going to do the rest with the yellow onions, and I'll be back to show you what's going on after that. All right, I've got everything put in here and everything's labeled. It'll be on this tray that's on this heating pad right here. Just to give you some ideas, these are my experiments going here. Nothing has sprouted yet, but I didn't expect anything to. It's only been 6 days for these. My lettuce over here, still doing well. It's no longer on a heating pad. You can see I got a new sprout right there that's really interesting, really nice. And new sprouts coming up down there, so I'm very excited about that. Over here, I have one of the Chinese broccolis has sprouted. I don't see anything else in that one yet. Back here, I've got some of my sweet basil. I got one sprout there. I got some coming up there. It looks like my chives, this one right here has a little bit of action going on. I don't have anything from cilantro and parsley yet. I don't have anything from bok choy or spinach yet that I can see. But I got some Swiss chard here and my kale over here. So I'm really excited about that. Before I end my video today, I want to add to my vlog as a reminder to myself, but also as a message to you. You know, we live in some uncertain times. Our country is having a growth spurt. This is not a political speech in any way. People who know me know how I feel about things. But I have always thought that anyone who has any space to grow something should grow something. If you have a balcony, if you have a small backyard, if you just have stuff like plants inside where you can grow, you should be growing something. Some lettuce, some cherry tomatoes, all of those things grow well in containers. It allows you to have some sort of fresh food that you grow on your own. I do not believe in the whole when it hits the fan collapse of society thing. Governments come and go, society exists. There are too many educated people in this country for us to not be able to get a power grid back up, get fresh water flowing again. You know, those types of basic needs you're going to be able to meet. So I'm not like a panic prepper kind of person. You got to remember, I'm Gen X. We learned how to light a light bulb with lemons in school, so I'm not really scared about stuff like that. But what I would say is to make sure in this time of anxiety or stress to find your place of peace. This is my place of peace. Gardening, my chickens, those mountains, this is my place of peace. This is where I come to let go of my anxiety. This is where I come to relax, clear my mind, focus on me, focus on my family. I encourage all of you to find that place. For some people, that's being close to the beach. For some people, that's being close to a park where you can hike. For some people, that's, you know, being in your room, cuddled up with a blanket and a book. Whatever brings you peace, find your place of peace and enjoy that place of peace. For me, gardening, chickens, being out here in the middle of nowhere, this is my place of peace. So I encourage everybody to do that. I will have another video come out sometime next week. We should be able to get some updates on some of these sprouts. Just as a point of reference, it is 45 degrees outside, which is why I have a hoodie and a beanie on. In this greenhouse, it is 94 degrees. So I'm gonna go sit on my front porch so I can cool off because it's getting hot out here. I hope you guys all have a blessed day. I hope you all find your place of peace, start some seeds. If you're in the Concho, Arizona area and you want to start learning how to grow here, because there is a large learning curve. Our first garden club meeting will be on February the 4th, starting at 1 o'clock at the Mellon Center in Concho, Arizona. It's free. Anybody's welcome. I also live stream it to our Facebook group, which is Concho Garden Club. So if you're not able to come, you can always watch the live stream. And I say I live stream it to Facebook. It'll only stay there for 30 days. The video will be live. And all of that's based on whether or not the technology gods are on our side. Sometimes Wi-Fi's and signal strength and things like that are not the best. So I do my best to make sure I can reach as many people as possible up here. But everybody's welcome to look and watch and learn. Make sure you share things in the comments. If I'm doing something wrong with my onions or in my garden, in my greenhouse, let me know. This is my first year, so I don't know any better. Anyways, today is a rambling video. I'll quit rambling, let you guys go back out and find your peace. Thank you for watching.